Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. Now, what I'm going to do is show you. First, let me say, if you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. I am using these clips out of fair use and for educational purposes to educate you on the certain types of behavior and mindsets that we are seeing in the Black community. I want to show you why today's modern day Black women are still taking L's, why they are taking so many losses, why they are perceived the way that they are. So let me go ahead and play these clips so you can see for yourselves, gentlemen, why today most Black women do not have any self-respect, in my most humble opinion. So let's go ahead and get into it. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, as I pull up the screen for you. Let's do it. Tell me what you think about this, because what I'm about to show you is a bunch of women who are displaying themselves performing a pleasurable act on a man just for an example, not really doing it, but showing you how they would please a man if they was in the bedroom. Let's get there.
Wow. She missing a tooth and everything. That one didn't even grow in. I don't need a lot of bitches, cuz. Look at him. Stroke, stroke, stroke.
Now, I want you to think about this. This is what your daughters are witnessing, ladies and gentlemen. These are the examples of the women who don't really care about what you think about them. These are the women who say, I am independent. You can't tell me anything. This is a great example of what happens when a modern day Black woman has too much free time, when she is too idle, and when she is left to her own devices. She get on the air and demonstrate things that should only be done in private. Let's continue.
Stroke, stroke, yo. No, this ain't real. And she doing the twist with it. And she capping. In fact, she says,
this is fun for them, though. This is like playing checkers or playing chess. What's wrong with this? Why should I be offended that I choose to carry myself as a whore? There's no way that this type of behavior would impact the Black community. There's no way that this type of behavior would cause a negative stigma to follow my people. There's no way that any other ethnic group would be judgmental of what I'm doing. This is the mindset of delusion that today's modern day Black woman, in my most humble opinion, without trying to offend, it seems like that's what they believe in.
open it up. No teeth. Now, why on earth?
Why on earth would you behave in such an immoral fashion? Why would you behave in such a lascivious manner? Because that is distasteful. That is not something to be proud of. And if you notice it not, they were just laughing, giggling, happy to show that they can become a whore online. Happy to show people that we can be distasteful. And then these are the same women who rush and tell you, I want a high value man. I want a man of decency. I want a man who makes all the big bucks. I want a man to wife me and to see me as a wholesome young lady. Are you serious right now?
And I with Diddy. And one thing about me, I feel like I'm young Miami. I love when the hits on me. That was a real y'all scared to talk about what the y'all like, because y'all so worried about what these bitches gonna think. Baby, if you piss on me, make sure along you get my hair done after. Yeah. Piss on me, piss in my mouth. Let me piss on his mouth. Let me piss in your mouth, fart in your face. I want to on top of your hair and rub it in. I like to open my legs, squat my over his face, and give me a nice little fart in.
This is how bad it's gotten. The more vulgar you can be, the more clicks you get, the more views you get, the more retweets you get, the more recognition and popularity you tend to gain. Women have sold their souls for attention. Women have sold out the entire community, in my most humble opinion, for the fast dollar. For a woman to feel so comfortable to disrespect herself and say, I want you to urinate in my hair, but if you do that, be sure to get my hair did afterwards, speaks volumes of their lack of decency today. Now, let me show you something else, how women are using STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, as a weapon of revenge. Let's get there.
It's your opportunity to keep it real.
I'm keeping it real. They already know I gave you chlamydia because I told you when I got mad I wanted to give you chlamydia again. I already told you that.
This woman, without any regard of how someone else's health may be, she's telling you, I gave you chlamydia on purpose because I was mad at you, which means she got tested, and also means that she was getting it from somebody else, because if she was giving it to the victim, she has to be whoring around with another man to contract the chlamydia to pass along to him. So what we have here is a whore who is vindictive, spiteful, self-centered, and full of rage and malice.
Keep it real.
I'm keeping it real. They already know I gave you chlamydia because I told you when I got mad I wanted to give you chlamydia again. I already told you that.
You didn't give me shit.
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. I definitely burnt you, but it's okay.
No, you did not.
It's okay. That was my payback for all the years of trauma. I just finally got my payback and burnt you, so.
Okay, and what about the trauma your mama put you through?
Oh,
You do realize you can put a person in jail if they have knowledge of having an STD, and yet they chose to give it to you without informing you first of it. You can put a person in jail. For anyone who has went through that, I encourage you, highly encourage you, to file a police report and put her in jail.
Oh, I dog her too. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. My mama gets dealt with around here. My mama gets dealt with. My mama gets dealt with. You know, what about the what?
What about the what? Exactly.
I'm gonna say, what about the trauma?
I ain't trying to hear it. You already
I said, what about the trauma you went through?
the drama? No.
But then I forgot your mama scared of you, so she can't even say shit to you.
No, she not.
Yes, she is. She's scared you're gonna spit on her again. You gonna spit on her again.
This is sad. This is tragic. She's laughing, talking. He's talking about the trauma that her mother put her through. She breaks down cackling, laughing gleefully, talking about, what about the trauma you put your wood through, his man part through, because now it has chlamydia. Think about this now. Think about this.
I'll put up this wall, and if you're not going to climb it, then you need to stay on the other side of it. I'm going to speak and say how I feel. This submission stuff with Fantasia, I'm not submitting to nothing.
I'm going to speak and say how I feel. In other words, I am a woman with an out of control, reckless mouth. And I say whatever I want to say as soon as I want to say it without filter. Regardless of the fact if it's disrespectful to you, regardless of the fact how others may perceive me, I'm going to be as ghetto and as ratchet as I possibly can be. And I refuse to submit to any man, because to me, I should always be placed on a pedestal, and that's how it's going to be from day on, day in, day out.
Say how I feel. This submission stuff with Fantasia, I'm not submitting to nothing but my bag and my kids and my career. I will submit. There is no submission without a mission. There has to be a mission. These men don't have missions.
Now I want you to think about this. She only submits to the bag. Now, whenever someone says something like that, what that really means is they would do anything for the bag. Because when you are submitted to anyone, that means you must obey and follow whatever the instructions come from the one who is in the position of authority. And for her, the money has the authority over her life. So she can dress whorishly if it means there's a bag in it. She can say the most horrible verbal things. She can be the most ratchet woman as long as there's a payoff. That's what that simply means. Now, what I'm about to play next is some black women who are reacting. They're doing a reaction video to the lyrics that's performed by Sukihana and Big Sexy. You know, the one that Sukihana who talks about eating booty. And then we got Sexy Red who said things like her coochie pink and her booty hole brown. And I want you to see the women's faces. They are looking at it in disapproval, as they should. But it's not enough to look, ladies. You have to stand up for integrity. You have to stand up so that other people will want to respect you. When you have women like this who are carrying themselves in such a vulgar manner, it reflects on you. Even when you say you're not the one doing it, even if you say you're not condoning it, y'all need to start a movement to where you are in opposition to this type of behavior. Let's go ahead and play it. Watch the face. Now, I can't turn the volume up of the song. That's just how the clip was. So let's watch their faces, though. Look at their face. I'm glad that you don't like it, ladies, but at the same time, it takes more than a look of disapproval. It takes actions to follow those convictions that you have about the situation. You know what I mean? Now, let me go ahead and put something else on the screen for you, ladies and gentlemen, before we get up out of here. I'm trying to pull it up now. Excuse me one moment. Trying to find that video. Okay. I want to show you, ladies, that not every man enjoys watching women wilding out on girls' trip, twerking and scrubbing their butts across the floor and getting drunk and saying, hey, hey. Watch this gentleman in this video. He has a look of disgust. He doesn't look like he's turned on or attracted or aroused. Look at his face. He looking at that as the filth that it truly is. That movement, those dances, is good in certain areas. But if that's all that our women are known for now, which it seems to be, we seem to know that when it comes to twerking, we have to look no further than the ladies in our community now. Need to be held accountable. Think about that now. Is this your legacy that you want to have to pass to your children, ladies? Now, I'm going to show you something right quick. This lady right here. A good-looking woman, a curvaceous woman, fine. Now, this is what I want to... I'm going to play this first. I'm going to talk about it. Hold on.
Bumbo clout! That girl the body fatty, my youth.
Now, what I want you to look at is a woman who displays herself in a whorish manner. Now, what I've noticed is women, in my personal humble opinion, they would do anything for the bag or for the spotlight, and they would do a whole lot more for the spotlight in the bag. Now, when you put the spotlight on certain women, it seems they wild out. And this is not saying that I'm going to talk about roaches, the critters that we see crawling around the houses, someplace in the apartments, in the hood, cockroaches, roaches. And I am not saying that women are roaches before you get offended. I am not trying to insult you in that way. I do not mean to do so. But what I'm going to try to tell you is this, for educational purposes. Have you ever noticed that when there's a roach in a room and it's dark, the roach is still, or he's just doing what he's doing, being peaceful, just moving around. But as soon as you hit the light, put the light on the roach begins to wild out, run around crazy, start moving around and stuff like that. When the spotlight is on it, when there's attention being given to the roach moves around. Think about this when I make this other statement. You ever notice how you put the spotlight on certain women and they start moving around, twerking, dancing? It seems as if you put more attention on some of these modern day women, they start to do more. Now, when you're not paying them attention, they do less, or they're trying to fight for your attention. So can you imagine a roach? When you put a light on a roach, can you imagine it twerking? A roach twerking, the wings up and stuff. Something about, hey, hey. Imagine that. I'm just gonna put that in your mind. You think about it.
Bumbo clot. That girl the body fatty, my youth. And where the bumbo clot, she don't forget the wall of that. You sit down in her front seat when gotta give away all of that bumbo clot, pussy clot, that girl the body fat. Turn around, make the world see it. You have a good shape to blood clot. Madam.
Like he said in his accent, he said, turn around and let the world see it. And that's what's happening. The women today are putting these atrocious, negative, nasty behaviors on display for the world to see, for other ethnic groups to see, for other people of different cultural backgrounds to see. And then they want to get mad when you judge it. Then they want to get mad when you speak out against it. You're judging me. You can't tell me nothing. Like the other lady, I think was Kay Michelle, said, I don't submit to nobody. I submit to the bag. And the bag has you out here acting like this.
You have a good shape to blood clot. Madam. Wow.
Think about everything I'm saying to you. Think about it. Got one last video for you. I want to show you how, and this might be a video you might have seen before. I want you to see a son going through it because his mother wants to dress like a hot pocket. And he is in strong disapproval. I think the boy might be 12 or 13 years old, and she's trying to justify her thoughtish behavior and thoughtish appearance to him. It's embarrassing him. He feels ashamed. Shame, the one thing that our women seem to lack today. The boy feels it. Let's get to it.
Like my outfit? Oh, why?
It's a bathing suit.
Oh, really? It's a bathing suit. Then why are you wearing high shoes, huh? They're boots.
Beyonce.
Don't care.
Rihanna.
Don't care.
Okay, off the top, I'm going to just say this. If this was the other way around, if this was a man, the father, parading around half naked around his daughters or his sons, and asking, "Oh, how does this look?" This would be considered, or he would be considered, a pedo. This would be
great point from that intelligent system. It's okay for a woman to walk around like a thought half naked in front of her young boy. But if the roles or the situation was reversed, if there was a reversal, and that was a man walking around half naked in his drawers in front of his daughter or stepdaughter, they would consider him to be a possible sex offender or a pedophile. That is the double standard. I don't complain too much about double standards because men have them as well. But I want you to look at this. What are you showing your son? What type of woman do you think he's gonna get now after he sees his mama being so cool with looking like a whore?
Considered abuse. It's the same thing. And women, we are not held accountable by society or by ourselves. And that's a part of the problem. This is inappropriate. It's trashy. It's giving very much for the streets. And when she asked him, how does this look? And he told her, which he was right, that I don't like it. She totally ignored his feelings.
Right.
And our sons in particular are very protective over their mothers. I know I have 4 sons, and this is their nature as men, as boys, to be protective over their mothers. First of all,
and that's a good point. See, women want you to protect them. We've been hearing this all over the internet for the last few days now. Protect me when something happened to it. Now, this type of situation, when you have a woman who dresses as a whore and the son knows, there's a lot of young men out here who know exactly what their mama's about. Some of us know that there are some gentlemen who have mothers who are in the streets who parade themselves as thoughts, whores, or skanks, whatever you want to call them. And they would protect these women. But the thing is, I think there's more pressure from these young sons to protect their mothers out of obligation than it is out of love or out of respect. We would love to protect our mothers or our women, but we would love to do it out of respect for that woman, out of the fact that we love that woman because she has given us something that we feel that we need, or we feel that, she has presented herself to us in a way that makes us love her. Now it seems almost as if most gentlemen are protecting women out of obligation and reputation. I have to do this, not because I really care about it, not because I approve of her behavior, but it's expected of me to protect her more than I want to protect her because she's a good woman. Think about it.
This is psychologically, or can be psychologically, damaging and traumatizing. No boy wants to see his mother dressed like a thought, dressed like she getting ready to get on a pole somewhere. That's very disturbing to him. And you can see it. You can hear it in his response. He's upset, and rightfully so, and no boy wants other strangers, especially other men, looking at his mother, gawking in this type of way, the way that, she's trying to get attention. Boys are very protective over their mothers because that mother relationship, and I've said this time and time again, is very, very, very important. We set the stage as mothers of how to have our sons respect other women and protect other women, and potentially, marry that type of woman, a woman who is holds herself in high regard and high esteem with respect, dignity, and like a lady. And nothing about this says ladylike. This is giving very desperate. And I know this situation. She's recently divorced or separated or whatever. And, on top of that, this young man, her son, is already dealing with the trauma of going through a divorce, where he's always had both of his parents together. And now he's dealing with a mother who's, I don't know, going through a midlife crisis or.
The only thing worse than a woman who dresses like a thought is a desperate woman who dresses like a thought who has hit the wall. Now you're trying to regain your youth because you ruined your marriage, or you waited too long to get married, or you had a whole bunch of multiple children by multiple men, and now you're looking for marriage. Now you're operating in scarcity and fear, also you are operating in desperation.
Setting these thirst traps, trying to get attention from men, trying to find a new relationship or whatever. And, boys, they're not going to have it. They don't want anybody else with their mother other than their father, especially when that father has been in their life, up until now, and she's carrying on like this. It's so many things wrong with this, but I don't want to speak on their marriage too much. I don't know the details, and it's really none of my business, but it is when you come to the public and you flaunt this, oh, I graduated from marriage and, I'm about to live my best life now. I'm single and here I am.
And she's right. A lot of women look at divorce as a graduation, like there should be some type of celebratory ceremony because they have wrecked their homes, because they have ruined their relationship between son and father, destroyed the household. It should be some type of celebratory ceremony. Now I've graduated. Now it's time for me to live my life. You got things backwards, lady.
And from what I gather, there was really no abuse or anything really, really serious as to why she initiated this divorce.
It never is.
And so we have to, and I say this all the time, we have to get back to family.
Yes.
Working out those things that can be worked out, staying with our husband, and stop breaking up our homes just because we're not feeling the marriage anymore. We're not feeling the person anymore.
Yes.
Because in the end, who suffers?
The children suffer, baby. Marriage was marriage was supposed to be forever. They're supposed to be together forever. But women get bored. See, the women who divorce because they're bored are selfish women. Because as soon as they're not feeling good, they say, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice the stability of my household. I'm going to sacrifice the stability of my children because I don't feel good. Because a lot of times women are not leaving because of domestic abuse or infidelity. And if your man is cheating, you should still stay. If you got children, work that out. Don't act like it's the first time you've been cheated on. The difference now is that you got a piece of paper saying that you're married. Hell, you've been cheated on a whole lot of other times. Women cheat too. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, I have a live stream this Sunday. Live stream today, not today, this upcoming Sunday, 5:15 Central Standard Time. 5:15 Central Standard Time. And again, I am using these clips out of fair use in this video designed for educational purposes. I am not bashing anybody. I'm only exposing certain type of behaviors that I personally believe are unacceptable, and I speak on them using my Second Amendment right in the Constitution. Now, you have a good one now.